Which players do you feel could benefit from his arrival?
Well, I think there are several we could talk about. There's Manuel Ugarte, of course, coming back together with his former boss at Sporting. Rasmus Højlund, could he benefit from working with a manager who had great success with Victor Gyökeres at Sporting? But I think Amad Diallo is another in those inside forward positions behind the striker. He is someone who right now looks like he might have a slight edge on Rashford and Garnacho in terms of form, and we can see that if we look at his stats, which we're going to show you now. So he obviously is in a good run of form, Amad, and these numbers here, which are for the Premier League this season, these are per 90-minute stats on the ball this season. These really show how well Amad is doing in comparison to Garnacho and Rashford in these positions. So let's start with chances created here. So over on the far side, you can see that Amad Diallo is averaging 2.6 chances per 90 minutes, which is twice as many as either Rashford or Garnacho. He's making a lot more final third passes as well, 20.3 final third passes per 90 minutes. Again, a lot more than Rashford, a lot more Garnacho. He's much more involved in linking the play in the final third. He makes more dribbles this season. We see he's on 1.3 per 90 minutes, which is more than the other two. And then distance carried. So this kind of reflects his ball carrying ability. So on average, per 90 minutes, he carries the ball 277.4 metres per 90 minutes, which again is a lot more than Garnacho and Rashford. And at the bottom there, we see shots. Now Garnacho is top in this metric with 3.9 per 90 minutes, but Amad registering pretty healthy numbers, 2.3 per 90 minutes. And Rashford, you can see only 1.2 shots per 90 minutes for him. So on the ball, Amad is stacking up pretty favourably, and off the ball as well. We can see how impactful he's been this season in comparison with these two. So we'll show you these numbers now. So these are off the ball numbers for this season per 90 minutes. Possessions won in the final third. Amad is 1.5 per 90 minutes, which again is much higher than Garnacho or Rashford. His tackles, he's up on 3 per 90 minutes. Again, a lot higher than Garnacho and Rashford. He's close to 11 kilometres per 90 minutes. The other two are closer to 10. Garnacho on exactly 10 kilometres per 90 minutes. And off the ball runs there at the bottom. Again, Amad Diallo comes out on top. So I think this is important too for Amorim, given the emphasis he places on pressing, on intensity out of possession. Amad does look like someone who can provide those things as well as goal threat and creativity at the moment.
OK. There's been a lot of talk, of course, around Amorim's preferred formation, 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, depending how you look at it. So what could that potentially look like for United once the international break is over? Yeah,
well, it's interesting to think what that first team could look like, isn't it? We've had a stab at it here, so we'll start from the back. We're using his favoured formation, as you say, 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3. These are the systems he likes to use. No debate really over the goalkeeper. Onana in goal. We've gone for Lenny Yoro as the right-sided centre-back in the three. Obviously, he hasn't played since pre-season due to his injury, but he is now back in training. He's got a fortnight with the new manager on the training ground. Maybe that could help him get up to speed and maybe get into that team. We then move through to midfield. Casemiro and Ugarte have worked well together in the recent games. Kobbie Mainoo is still injured, so a bit of uncertainty there. So those two are the guys we've gone with. Mazraoui gets the nod on Dallo at right wing back. He's in good form. And then we've gone for Garnacho as the left wing back, just because Luke Shaw probably won't be ready for this game. And otherwise, you're looking at playing Dallo out of position. And of course, Garnacho at left wing back, he would be providing the width on that side. And maybe that would allow you to have Bruno Fernandes coming inside into that number 10 position, in that inside left position, with Amad Diallo potentially as the right-sided forward behind Rasmus Højlund. So there you go, there's our potential 11 to face Ipswich. But I'm sure Amorim will have his own ideas and he'll be working hard on the training ground to see what's best for him for this game.
Yeah, as I'm looking, there are plenty of options for the new head coach. The first thing that jumped out of me is that there's no Marcus Rashford in that team. So how does Amorim get him back firing?
Yeah, well, he hasn't been at his best at all this season, has he? And we can see that if we look at these numbers here. So here we have his goal involvements per 90 minutes for each of his 10 Premier League seasons. So now you see the seasons where he's been at his most effective, he generally averages between 0.6 and 0.8 goal involvements per 90 minutes. Now, in the last 2 seasons, I'll come over here now, I'll show you 0.36 per 90 minutes last season, which was well below what we have come to expect from Rashford, and then 0.24 this season. So only 1 goal and 1 assist in his Premier League appearances so far, which is his lowest rate of productivity at Manchester United. So that's a big challenge for Amorim, I think. We all know the talent this man has. We all know what a game changer he can be. But can he get him playing with confidence? Can he increase that productivity in front of goal? That'll be a big, big job for him at Manchester United.
Yeah, OK. Well, one man who has returned to form is the captain, Bruno Fernandes. And not just linguistically, but how key is he going to be?
Well, he'll be huge, won't he? What a big player he is for Manchester United. Of course, captain, their best player as well. And we see here how his form has improved in the recent games under Van Nistelrooy compared to earlier in the season. So under Ten Hag earlier in the season, this is all competitions. He hadn't scored a single goal, had he, in over 1,000 minutes played. Under Van Nistelrooy, 4 goals in 360 minutes. So a really, really impressive return there. 2 assists as well under Van Nistelrooy. 5 of those under Ten Hag. But in terms of goal involvements per 90 minutes, you can see the difference, can't you? 1.5 per 90 minutes under Van Nistelrooy, only 0.4 under Ten Hag. And look at that last stat as well. Chances created, I mean, 5.3 per 90 minutes, up from 2.1. Really impressive numbers there. 21 chances created across Van Nistelrooy's 4 games. So that's something that bodes well for Amorim. And we know, of course, how good Bruno is and how good he can be. And this form he's been showing under Van Nistelrooy is much more like what we've come to expect from him in the Premier League. And we've got another graphic we'll show you now, which shows just the context of how good he's been. So here we go. These are goal involvements in all competitions since Bruno Fernandes' Man United debut. So these are Premier League players only. And you see that his numbers are seriously impressive, aren't they? 83 goals, 72 assists. He's behind only Mohamed Salah there, and Kevin De Bruyne and Heung-min Son make up the rest of the top 4. So he's in good company. We know his quality, and Ruben Amorim will be hoping that he can deliver this kind of form consistently.
A 3-4-3 man. So we've set you two the task of being Ruben Amorim. When everybody's fit, how do those group of Manchester United players go into a 3-4-3 system which we expect Ruben Amorim to take? So obviously we'll start with the obvious one, which is Andre Onana in goal.
I don't think there was too much argument there.
But then the back 3 is going to be interesting. Let's see what you two have gone with.
There wasn't much of an argument between us, was there, when we did this earlier?
No, I think, you know, a lot of it sort of picks itself. But, yeah, I think that Yara in the middle there, likes, Yara, sorry.
Yeah.
Likes to progress with the ball and maybe come into the midfield line and sort of break that initial press. So he'd be the one that's probably more comfortable in doing that and driving forward. So he took the position there in the middle of the back 3.
He's still 18 years of age, and we've not seen him yet. 60 million.
I think that's an important position because, as Aaron says, Amorim has got a reputation of that central player coming into the midfield a little bit. So that central player's got to be decent on the ball. And I think De Ligt and Martinez, either side, they like playing. They're both aggressive defenders. They like being up against men. So I think that middle player's got to be good on the ball, and I think Yoro fits that bill. So I think if everybody's fit, we think they're the 3 that he'll go with.
That's interesting. So in terms of the central midfielders and then the wing-backs, which is the system, of course, that he plays, and has got 2 league titles in Lisbon, remember. Dalot on the right, Luke Shaw, if he's fit, of course. You've gone for his left wing-back. And what's quite interesting is Mainu, who's still a teenager, in midfield, and Ugarte, who we should point out has played for Ruben Amorim before and won the title in Lisbon. So no Casemiro there, gentlemen, and also no Mazraoui. He's not getting in that situation.
Well, we can only pick 11 players, obviously. We did debate them. Casemiro and Ugarte was a bit of a toss of a coin, wasn't it? But we just thought that with Ugarte having played under him, that might just tip it in the balance. Yeah,
of course. I think, obviously, he's won the league with Sporting. He understands the manager, know what he's asking of the players, and especially in this formation as well. So, you know, Casemiro's had a great career, and he's still a quality player, and I'm sure there's more from him. But I think he just pips him in this one just because of, you know, the experience that he's had with him previously.
Now, this is interesting because we then go to what is effectively, in this system that he plays, 2 number 10s.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, you're putting in as one of them, and Marcus Rashford, the other. So no Alejandro Garnacho.
Well, I think
is he a difficult man to get into this system, though?
Yes, I think that's what it is. And I think it's important to mention that these two players play almost inside in a lot of his formations. They're not necessarily wide players. So they come in and they play as number 10s, and that probably plays into the advantage of someone like Fernandes, because otherwise if you're playing 2 wide players, then he might not get a game, or he might have to deploy him as a midfield player. So with those players coming inside, you could argue, is Rashford a wide player? Can he play inside? I think he can. I think he's got some decent
Does he
vision.
want to?
Well, he's not going to play otherwise, unless he ends up playing him as a number 9 instead of Højlund. But we debated long and hard about this one, didn't we? And we just went for Rashford to start.
Yeah, we did. I think, Rashford has loads of quality, and I think hopefully now under this new manager, give him a new lease of life, and to reach the levels that he has done in the past, and to be, more consistent with that. He's an unbelievable player on his day, and I feel like in that system, in them little holes, pockets, I think he might be a little bit more suited to that and getting on the half turn, threading these little through balls through, or driving at defenders. I think he has them attributes that could really, give him the confidence again, and to elevate his game back to them levels that he reached before.
And just to round off the team, there's no doubt, I don't think, at the moment, in form, working with Ruud van Nistelrooy in a one-on-one situation, that Rasmus Højlund is the man to lead the line. Now, he's always played this system. We expect Ipswich away, his first game in charge, which we'll obviously be covering on Matchday Live, to go with that as well. The big question I'm interested in here, particularly Aaron, who you've played in this system quite a bit, is he's going to have, 3-4 training sessions after the international break to change personnel and shape going into a Premier League away game. Is that possible?
Yeah, well, obviously we know about his history in playing this formation. So for me, he'll want to try and implement that and try and, show what he's trying to implement on the field to, the fans, the supporters, and all of that side of things. So, yeah, for me, I think if he, the difficult thing is only having 2 or 3 days to prepare and trying to get the players up to speed in that system. But, these players are intelligent. I'm sure they'll probably have a lot of meetings in that short period because there's just not enough time on the grass. So to give them as much information off the field is probably going to be key in them initial few weeks. But what we've seen of him previously, he likes to play that formation. So I'm sure they'll probably try and look to play that.
What's the alternative? I mean, it's obviously to go with what they're going with already, playing 4 at the back and 4-3-3 and all the rest of it. But it's not like it's working at the moment. Where are they in the league? 14th or something? I mean, so because we've been thinking about it, can he implement it straight away? It's so radical, so different. Playing a back 3 is so different to playing a back 4. I mean,
what about the point in
dynamic.
Portugal where he's had a success, where Sporting Lisbon have the ball an awful lot?
Yeah.
Manchester United just haven't had that in the games.
But this might be the way to start getting them on the ball a lot more. They've got to start somewhere. They've got to start somewhere. The alternative, as I say, we're going to just play as you will for the rest of the season. We'll have loads of time in pre-season. No, it's at the start. They've got to do it at some point. Might as well just get off and running. If it goes wrong and whatever, well, that might be the new teething problems. But at least now they've got a plan, and this is what we're going to work to, and this is what we're going to perfect over a period of time. So there's no better time than now. As I say, it's not like Manchester United are winning every single game, and it's like, oh, don't touch it. It's not broken, so don't fix it. This thing has been broken for a long, long time. Let's just start again and start now. So if I was him, I would absolutely come in and say, right, this is what we're going to do. Yes, we'll make mistakes. Yes, we might get beaten by Ipswich. So what? So what? At least we're now on a road to something a bit more positive that we're going to try to implement and get more possession and get a system and get a plan in place.
Well, the next time we are with you on Final Word, Manchester United will have played at Ipswich the day before under Ruben Amorim, and we will be all over that with interest. Now,
hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the exciting changes at Manchester United with their new head coach, Ruben Amorim. Buckle up, because this could be a game changer for the Red Devils. Amorim, the tactical mastermind from Portugal, is set to make waves at Old Trafford. Known for his success at Sporting Lisbon, where he clinched 2 league titles, he's ready to implement his signature 3-4-3 formation with United. Fans are buzzing with anticipation as Amorim prepares for his debut match on November 24th against Ipswich Town. But what exactly can we expect from his tactical vision? During his farewell at Sporting, Amorim hinted at a shift in strategy. Instead of the traditional 2 centre-back setup, he's leaning towards 3 central defenders. This could revolutionise how United plays. He stated, "I know how I am going to play in the beginning. This means he'll start with a structure he's familiar with and adapt based on the squad's strengths and any injuries. It's all about finding that perfect balance between defence and attack." And let me tell you, fans are curious. Could this new approach finally bring the consistency they've been craving? Amorim's track record speaks for itself, and his adaptable style could be just what United needs. His disciplined tactics have already shown success in Portugal, and United has been on an upward trajectory under interim coach Ruud van Nistelrooy, remaining unbeaten in their last 4 matches. But how will Amorim's formation change impact the squad? He's hinted that he'll make slight adjustments to the current system. With 3 at the back, it opens up new possibilities for the players. Recent performances from players like Bruno Fernandes and Amad Diallo have been promising. Fernandes scored his first league goal from open play, while Diallo has been on fire, showcasing his talent after being sidelined under Erik ten Hag. And let's not forget Alejandro Garnacho. His stunning goal was a highlight, even if he was hesitant to celebrate due to past performances. With these 3 wingers stepping up, there's a fierce competition brewing. So, who will Amorim choose to start in his first match? Amad and Garnacho are making strong cases for themselves, leaving Marcus Rashford in a tight race to impress the new boss. The excitement is palpable as we await Amorim's first game. Will his tactical changes unlock the full potential of this talented squad? We'll find out soon enough. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest updates on Manchester United. Let us know your thoughts on Amorim's tactics in the comments below. Until next time, keep supporting the Reds. Manchester United Chief Executive Omar Berrada says he is excited by the appointment of Ruben Amorim as the club's new boss. Amorim left Sporting Lisbon to succeed Erik ten Hag, who was sacked last month when United were down in 14th place in the Premier League. New United head coach Amorim's first game in charge is away to Ipswich on Sunday, November 24th, with Berrada claiming the club's hierarchy are convinced his arrival is the perfect fit for the new structure in place at the club. Speaking at a web summit in Portugal, Berrada said, "I'm very excited about the arrival of Ruben Amorim. It's good to be back in Lisbon. I was here 2 weeks ago. We really believe that he will integrate into the rest of the structure so that we can be successful on the pitch. It's a perfect partnership between sport and technology." Amorim was given a guided tour of United's Carrington training complex on Monday, where he was met by Berrada, sporting director Dan Ashworth and technical director Jason Wilcox and Berrada. United's new boss is not allowed to officially take training until his work visa is granted, which is expected to happen towards the end of this week.